the conclusion to the whole book of Genesis. We're here in the Pranayakon cave, a cave that's been visited by a number of the Thai kings. Just there in the back, there's from King Rama V, Rama VII, and Rama IX. They all visit here. King Rama IX actually visited here 2 times. The last king, now at present is Rama X, his son. Yes, I remember when King Rama IX died. It was just before we came here the first time in 2017 in October. I was 44. Sorry, I need to remember. I just turned 44 that day. So it would have been in 2016, actually. And yeah, so they visited this cave. It's a very beautiful cave, natural wonder. And I, as a Christian, believe God created this. I mean, Thai people, 99.9% Buddhist, they don't believe in that. We see the world, our worldviews differ totally. But even a total different worldview does not mean that because a person looks at the world totally different than you, that you need to hate them. Because first and foremost, we are Christians, and we believe that as we studied in the book of Genesis, that God created everything. We are all, as humans, made in God's image. So we need to love, respect, and take care of each other. We need to take care of nature as well, the same kind of beauty you find around here. Okay, so yeah, when I started Genesis, the book up there on the rooftop on the place where I stayed there in Yangon in December, I had no idea that I'm going to do the conclusion to the book of Genesis here in this cave. This is the first time I've been here before, but this is the first time in many years, last time was before COVID, that I am here in this cave. In this whole trip and teaching on the book of Genesis, we did recording in numbers of places in Yangon, then in the Shan State, Kalor, that whole area around there, Inle Lake. There was a big earthquake where we were shaken, and lots of people were killed in Myanmar because of that. And then I came out here to Thailand to continue the recording in areas in Thailand, Koh Chang, Pattaya, Hua Hin, Bangkok, and now here. And this is now the final conclusion to the book of Genesis. And so why here? Well, I mean, it's in a certain sense a famous cave here. And secondly, it's because for the Buddhists it's a holy place. And I'm not doing it because I want to spit on a holy place. Not that. No, I've started out with saying we are humans, we are Christians. And we believe in treating other people, all people, doesn't matter what they believe, who they are, with dignity and respect, because they're made in God's image. Okay, that always trumps anything. Yes, unluckily, as a very conservative, reformed person, I do believe that Buddhists will go to hell and that there's not a reset button and you die and you come back as something else. I don't believe in it at all. But that does not mean because I believe I am right and they are wrong that I need to show disrespect and treat them with disdain. No, because then you're not a Christian. Christians treat all others with respect. Doesn't matter. I remember my father told me, a drunk guy on the street, you still treat him with respect because he's still made in God's image. Doesn't matter who you are. You treat people with respect. So I'm not here to spit on Buddhist beliefs, right? I'm here because this is a cave, and there's a lot of caves, and in Genesis, actually, the most important cave is the cave at Machpelah, a burial site, a site to the dead, right? This cave, a big cave, and kings who visit here, those kings are not alive anymore. And Death is that one thing that we all experience. Okay, we all experience it. Some of us might never experience drinking a bottle of wine costs $300 or something like that, or fly in a business class in an airplane or first class or something like that. Some of us might never experience that, right? Some of us might never experience what it means to go hungry at night. Not all experiences that humans experience are common, but there's one thing that we all experience. Everybody that lived before us, they all experienced it, they did. We, except if Jesus comes back, listen to the conclusion to chapter 50, will experience death as well. Abram, Sarah, Isaac, Rebecca, Leah, Jacob, Joseph, they were all buried at the cave at Machpelah, the first and the only piece of land that Abram possessed there. Yes, today Israel is Israel, and a land, right? But the cave, death. We are here today because of that. That connection between Genesis and where I'm standing now, death. What best explains death? If God, as a God who doesn't experience death, right? If He created us to not experience death, death is not natural, right? This cave is natural in a sense because God made it, right? But death for humans is not natural. We were not made to die. We were made to live. We were not made to think of in a year or in a day or in a minute. A rock might fall on me and kill me, right? Another earthquake and these rocks come tumbling down and I'm dead. We're not made for that. We were not made for that. We were made to live eternally. Yes, unlike God, who had no beginning, who has no beginning, we had a beginning. But from that moment onwards, we were made to live. But when you stand in a cave and you think of the death of all those that went before us, then we know that death is a reality. In a sense, we're all afraid of it, because we don't really know what lies ahead. Yes, they're behind the grave. Yes, there are people who claim to have come back from the dead. My mother told me stories as well, because she died once for a bit. But we have the promise of God that death is not the end because of Christ. Now, so what can we take from the book? What does the book of Genesis tell us? It tells us that this is not natural. God did not make us. He made us to live. He created everything beautiful. He created this beauty that we can even see around us. Okay? This is who God is. He made everything beautiful. It states there in chapter 1. It was always good. But we know, we look around us, we saw rocks coming down and crumbling, and we saw the paint coming off. Right? We know that it's not true for us today. So if you look at different religions, and which religion explains that best? Ultimately explains the idea of suffering and pain the best. And I think, as a Christian, that yes, it's Genesis, because Adam and Eve they were made morally good by a perfect God. But they were not gods, like what so many prosperity gospel preachers teach. And they could sin. And they did sin. And because of that, as we've seen in chapter 3, and as we're going to see in chapter 3 of another book coming next, there's death. But then there's life in chapter 3 of this other book, and the explanation of how it comes around.